Hello guys, welcome back to another retro review. This is yet again another Predator. I saved the best to last, as this is my favorite Predator design and favorite Predator character in the films, which is the Elder Predator from Predator 2. This is from Hot Toys. This is their 2.0 version. This is actually the first Hot Toys I ever bought. And I think I bought this back in 2016, but I originally saw the 1.0 when I was a kid, and basically I always had that one on my mind to buy when I was old enough to save up money to buy Hot Toys. But luckily for me, they updated with this one as the years went by, and I was fortunate to pick this up in 2016 for a pretty decent price. It was this and the DX11 Heath Ledger Joker I got at the same time, and these were kind of the definitive items in my collection regarding Hot Toys. And I parted ways with my DX19, my DX11, just because I felt like that was, the age was showing in that figure, and I sold it off maybe 3 years ago when that massive hype of the price went up, and I decided to jump on board with that. But what you have here is pretty much my first Hot Toy right here, and I don't think I would sell this anytime soon. I doubt Hot Toys will ever do this ever again. And regarding all the Predators I have done reviews on, I still think this is the best one. Accuracy-wise, just the details and the attention of paint apps, this one stands out compared to the others. And just quickly before we get into it, this was designed from the Jungle Hunter in the first movie, so they used that body and aged it to look like this. And this actually looks more accurate with the head sculpt to the Jungle Hunter, comparing it to the other two Hot Toys figures that they did based on that 87 movie. I think the classic Predator, which I've done a review on, is fine, but it is a little bit inaccurate. And I feel like the original 1.0, that's a bit of... it's a figure kind of breaking down now. The joints are getting a bit floppy. The paint apps aren't as good as what, Hot Toys are today. So I think this one looks more like the Predator 1 compared to the actual Predator 1 figures that Hot Toys did. But yeah. What I'll do now is I'll spin him around. I'll make him spin around a couple more times, and we'll get into the review. If you guys do enjoy this, make sure you like and sub, and we'll get right into it. So we got the head sculpt here, and like I said before, there's a reason why this is my favorite Predator. The design's incredible in my opinion, and I think Hot Toys have done, again, this is their best job with the Predator head sculpts. And I think the main reason is this Predator, the greyback or Elder, whichever way you want to call it, he doesn't have a biomask. And that's probably also something else I found unique about this Predator, is he kind of strayed away from a lot of the normal stuff that we were used to with the Predator lore. So when you get the spikes on the chin, also the teeth jewelry, it's almost like a lip piercing. You get the spikes on the dome itself again, which was missing heavily with the City Hunter that I've done before. It's all here for this one, and I think the main reason is the biomask. This one doesn't have one, so Hot Toys could have you know, Hot Toys went all out with accuracy on the sculpt itself. And what I might do is, as always, I'll throw Stan Winston's original work, you know, the behind the scenes work and in film, and compare it to this one right now. And as you can see, I stand by and say this is the best Hot Toys Predator. And, you know, there's a reason why I always loved this look. I think the blue dreads, and also the other, like, it almost looks mechanical. The beads, you know, these beads are actual different texture compared to the regular dreads. This one always stood out to me, even though it's not in the movie a lot. Again, it was impactful enough to stand out, and obviously it was impactful enough for Dark Horse Comics to continue this story through the prequel novel to explain the backstory basically of this Elder Predator. Also, the eyes are the accurate color, the green, the really, really vibrant green, as you can see here. That's another inaccuracy with the City Hunter. They were inaccurate on the eyes for that one. And also, like I said before, this one, even though it's aged up, it still looks more accurate than all of the original Jungle Hunters Hot Toys done. I can still see the Jungle Hunter in this head sculpt, which is accurate. It should be like that because, again, they used the exact same prop from part 1 for this character in part 2. So all they did is they aged it up a bit. And like I said, the original Build-A-Figure Predator 87 Jungle Hunter, the first complete 1.0, and the classic Predator I have don't hold a candle next to the accuracy of this one. And it is a shame. Hopefully they do update that one, because I think that one, again, it's from the first movie. It's the most iconic look. Give us something updated regarding that first movie. Like I said, I would never sell this one because I don't think Hot Toys will ever remake this one again. This is too niche of a character to remake because he wasn't in it that long. He was less than 5 minutes in the screen time. So I doubt we will ever see this one again. And I think he has kind of skyrocketed in the aftermarket. So yeah, if you really, really do want this, it's a bit of a... You're going to have to probably bite the bullet and buy it. Because again, I doubt they will remake this particular character again. But again, I bought this in 2015, 2016. So I was lucky to get it at a good price with the DX11. But yeah, going back to the figure itself here. Another unique part is the actual plasma caster here. So with all the other Predators, the visor here is absent. It doesn't exist on the Jungle Hunter, the City Hunter, even Wolf. He doesn't have the sight there. It's usually on the actual biomask itself. But again, the Elder is very unique where he has the laser tracker on the actual cannon itself. So he just chooses not to wear a biomask, which again, I've always loved this character for being unique. So what I'll do now is I'll pan a touch bit down to some add-ons that I have done because Hot Toys did miss this. And it's kind of a blink and you miss it in the movie. But again, because I'm such a fan of the Predator universe, a fan like me won't miss this. And unfortunately, Hot Toys did. So I might have to say they were a little bit inaccurate or they missed some stuff. So what I'll do now is I'll zoom down and give more information about what I'm talking about. So I've turned grey back here a little bit on the side to show the flintlock pistol. Again, it has the name of the owner, which is, you know, Raphael Adolini. Obviously, if you guys have watched Prey, you're gonna know who that now is. I'm still a fan of the comic 1718. I think maybe that's a bit of a better story regarding Raphael and this Predator's backstory. But again, it's technically not canon, so again, that's the comic universe. Movie universe, it's its own thing. They're both split apart. But the main reason why I wanted to show you the Predator on this angle is the little band that I've put here on his forearm. This was not part of the Hot Toys version. I actually had to make this myself. So I got a bit of cloth, weathered it, and I had to sew a star and a patch on it. And again, that's a part that Hot Toys missed, and I'll show the pictures up now of where I got this reference from. And it is kind of a blink and you miss moment where you have to really analyze this scene. And if you're a hardcore fan like me, you're going to pretty much analyze every scene. And yeah, they missed the pouch here, which, if I remember, it's got to do with an infantry, US infantry, I think 1st or 2nd division. Again, I'm not American, so I don't know really much about you guys and the military and all that over there, but I think it was the 2nd division infantry that this Predator has on his forearm. And again, that asks more questions now, is where the hell did he get that? You know, if he got this during the 1700s, does it mean he's hunted on Earth again to somehow get that pouch and have it as a trophy? So again, that's why I've always liked this version of the Elder Predator, because again, he's just mysterious to, you know, we ask a lot of questions. So what I'll do is I'll spin him back here and we'll go to the actual jewelry part itself on the body. And as you can see, again, the attention to detail on this is 10 out of 10 in my opinion. They nailed it with all the jewelry. The fact that this is all individually sculpted on a rope. So all these beads are individual, it's not one sculpt. Again, that's insane. You got 2 necklaces. You got a mid-length here, and you got a really long one that goes down. And I'll zoom, when I pan down, I'll show the rest. But again, the coloring is reminiscent to the first movie, the rotting banana look. It's basically that times 2, because again, this is aged. It's supposed to be the elder version of what the Jungle Hunter would have looked like if he lived. And I think that's another reason why I like this version, is this is the first version that actually lived and survived for this many years. Well, him and the Lost Tribe in the second movie, they were the only ones that have survived the Predator movie so far, and maybe that's why I like him even more, because again, he's survived for this long. Again, the armor, so the chest armor, the shoulder pads, the biomask, sorry, not the biomask, the shoulder cannon are pretty much accurate to the first movie. And I'll show references again of the Elder Predator's gear from Stan Winston Studios. The shoulder cannon, again, the plasma caster is the same aside from the scope on top, because again, this one doesn't wear the mask. He's kind of customized it on the cannon itself. So what I'll do now is I might as well just go even further down, just down here, to show the rest of the jewelry. Again, this is all great detail, all individual beads. This is interesting too. Another reason why I like Predator 2 is this supposed to be a xenomorph face hugger? Again, it's kind of shrouded in a mystery whether that is the face hugger and its legs. And then on this side, we've got a bit more bones. I think on the sheath of the sword, yeah. So we'll take a look at the sword later on, but the sheath has what I assume is a human skull, or maybe a monkey skull. Actually, since I'm here, the only negative is these little bits here, which is pleather. but for some reason these don't feel pleathery. So I'm not really too sure. I'm trying to look at it now. It looks pleather, but it doesn't feel like it. That's pretty weird. That's a weird texture, and it's the same with here. I think, yeah, this is the same texture. So that goes around down here, and it's all torn up, which is again nice fabric here. But this, okay, so it's different color fabric underneath. This doesn't feel like pleather, so that's interesting. But yeah, it's interesting that doesn't feel like pleather, but it does look like it at the least. And I'll go a little bit up now to the med pack and just the back side of the dreads. Again, the detailing is really, really nice. And like I said before, this is much reminiscent to the Jungle Hunter. The classic Predator missed these tubes that should be on the 87 version. So that's another reason why this is more accurate than the other one. I think the weathering is pretty much accurate to that first movie too. I mean, one can say and argue that the classic Predator is based on the Predator from the third movie, not the first. So I can excuse that it's, you know, missing a couple of these details there, because it is supposed to be from the third movie. But yeah, what I'll do now is I'll get him to spin at the front here. I'll zoom down to the bottom of the base and the leg details and all that, and we'll get into that. And just before I do that, I almost forgot to mention why I took the wrist blades out of this figure. So as you can see here, with the newer versions of these Hot Toy Predators, you can clip out and interchange different size wrist blades. So if you've seen my classic Predator and I think the 2.0, yes, the original City Hunter 2.0 from this same movie had it permanently stuck in the gauntlet, and all you could do is move it forward and move it back. With this figure onwards, so this wolf, I think maybe the other AVP characters, I don't have them, I personally don't like them, but I think they have the same mechanism where you have to pop out those sharp metal blades and replace them in different sizes. But again, the unique thing about this character is, I'll show again more screenshots of the film itself. He doesn't have any wrist blades on him. They're taken out. So again, that's another story of what happened to his. Did he take them out or did he lose them? And again, I'll show you some pictures from the movie. And yeah, so that's why I don't have mine in, because again, it's technically inaccurate to have it in. And what I'll do is, I almost forgot to show the sword itself, so I'll spin it around. And we'll go down a touch bit more. And here's the sword itself, which again is really, really rustic looking. It looks all weathered, and again, it looks rusted all over here. This is plastic, it's not die cast, which is a bit of a shame, but again, this would be extremely sharp if it was die cast. I mean, cutting something like that and that would have to pretty much blunt it. But it is what it is, it's fine, it gets the point across. Again, this looks like bone fragments, and so does this little bit on a string. It looks like leather straps here. Speaking of leather, that's fake pleather. This one feels more like, this part here feels a lot more like the familiar pleather I'm used to that will rot. On the opposite side and this bottom part here, they don't feel like pleather, they feel a bit different. But this one is much more familiar to me, because this one turns to shit and just completely rots. That's just spare fabric that I used for the little chief, hanky chief type thing there on his wrist. And I just threw it here just to cover the joint up. But yeah, that's pretty much with the sword here. Again, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go down to the base and kind of vent my complaints that all the other Predator figures have regarding the base. So just get ready for the repetitive stuff on that. So we got the bottom of the figure here, where the base is. Basically the cod piece, the thigh armors, and the straps there, again, are just replacement molds from the first movie, with the exception of obviously the belts there and there. They're add-ons. But the shin guards are obviously the same. Also the knee pads. So all of this is pretty much Predator 1, aside from the feet are the same, but Predator 1 was kind of unique where he wore like sandals or some type of shoes. This one doesn't, and I don't think the City Hunter had it as well. Looking at my collection, it's only Wolf and the classic Predator, which is based on the 87. They're the only ones that have like shoe attire, I guess. I guess they were uncomfortable hunting. I don't know. But again, I'm going to vent the same problem I have with all the Predator stuff from Hot Toys, is the weight of these is not compatible again for this stand. All of them are so heavy that this stand pops out on the bottom if you're not careful, because the weight just tears it off. And you got to be really careful with, again, it's kind of like a balancing game with these. You got to be careful to pose it. I wouldn't risk posing these anyway. I think you can do it. You should be able to do decent poses with this. Again, I've got him in a kind of character pose or still from the movie where he throws Danny Glover the gun. But if you want to do like acrobatic style poses, I personally wouldn't, unless you update and get a more heavy duty base, because again, you're going to have just a balancing game with this. But yeah, that's pretty much it for down here. Accessory wise, he doesn't come with much. He comes with the flintlock, obviously the sword there you can see. I think he comes also with a couple of hands, I don't think a lot, and the wrist blades, the actual blades themselves, the interchangeable pieces, he comes with them. But yeah, that's pretty much it for, again, down here on the base. What I'm going to do now is zoom out, throw him on a turntable, and give my final thoughts. So there we have it, the Elder Predator 2.0 from Hot Toys, from Predator 2. As I said at the start, out of all my Predator collection I have, this is by far my favorite. It might be a bit of a bias because it's my favorite of the characters. It's my favorite Yautja in the movies. Right alongside with Wolf, actually. But it might not be a bias, because I think I would have been more harsh if it was inaccurate, just because I love this version so much more than the others. But like I said, this has skyrocketed in price. And look, if you guys want it because you love the character, I would say go for it. I doubt Hot Toys will make this version again. But also, if you collect other stuff like Marvel or Star Wars, they're going to keep making those, and you're going to kind of be in a struggle position if you want to look back into old classic stuff like this and purchase the shit ton of stuff that Hot Toys still make today. Personally, I wouldn't risk it unless, again, you're only extremely selective like myself. But if you do end up getting this, or if you are interested in getting this, I would say that this version right here is probably the definitive one, in my opinion. Just because how much Hot Toys nailed the likeness and the accuracy. Obviously, the classic Predator, or even if you want to dive down to the original MMS version, obviously that's the most iconic one. So, you wouldn't argue to miss out on that one if you have the chance to get it. But again, going by accuracy and the attention to detail, this one is, in my opinion, it's the better one. But yeah, it's held up pretty well over the years, and there's a reason why I've still kept it, because again, it's that good of a figure. And that's pretty insane to think, because I got rid of my DX11 when I got both of these ones at the same time. And this one has basically standed the test of time. And it will probably continue to stay in my collection, because again, I'm a massive fan of Predator, massive fan of horror and sci-fi. So yeah, no parting ways of this anytime soon. But that's pretty much it for this video. Again, if you guys did enjoy this, make sure you like and sub. And I'll see you in the next one.